What's up, riders? Welcome back to CycleSphere, where we keep it real about two wheels. Today, we're diving into something Suzuki just dropped that's got everyone talking, the SV-7GX. Is this the middleweight naked bike we've been waiting for? Or just another overhyped machine? Stick around because we're about to find out. And trust me, I've got opinions. Let's get into it. Alright, let's talk about the looks first, because that's what gets you at the showroom, right? The SV-7GX has this modern naked street fighter vibe that Suzuki's been pushing lately. You've got sharp, angular bodywork that screams aggression without looking like a tryhard. The LED headlight setup is mean, that stacked twin-eye design. Proper menacing. Side profiles clean too, with minimalist plastics and exposed frame work that shows off the engineering. The fuel tank has these muscular curves that flow into a decent tail section. Not too stubby, not too stretched. Colorways? Suzuki's offering the usual suspects: metallic gray, racing red, and matte black. Personally, that matte black with red wheels? Chef's kiss. Now, the seat height sits at around 815 millimeters, which is manageable for most riders, even if you're not blessed with long legs. The seat itself? Firm but not plank-level uncomfortable. You'll appreciate that on longer rides. Pillion accommodation is okay. There's a grab rail, decent padding, but your passenger won't be writing love letters about the experience after 2 hours. It's a naked bike. What do you expect? Armchair comfort? The instrument cluster deserves its own moment. Full-color TFT display, baby. 5 inches of crisp, readable info even in direct sunlight. You've got your standard stuff: speed, revs, gear indicator, fuel gauge, but also ride modes, traction control settings, and even tire pressure monitoring on the higher trims. The UI's intuitive. No fumbling around in menus while you're riding. Bluetooth connectivity? Yep, pair your phone. Get call notifications, music control, navigation prompts. It's 2025. This stuff's essential, not optional. Let's get to the heart of the matter, the engine. Suzuki dropped their new 776 cubic centimeters parallel twin mill in this thing. And it's a proper screamer. Makes around 87 horsepower at 8,500 revolutions per minute and 62 pound-feet of torque at 6,800 revolutions per minute. Now, that might not sound bonkers on paper compared to some competition, but here's the thing. The power delivery is absolutely buttersmooth. There's usable grunt from 3,000 revolutions per minute all the way to the red line. No weird flat spots, no hesitation. Just twist and go. The throttle response is crisp, maybe a little aggressive in sport mode if you're not expecting it. Rain mode? Perfect for commuting or when the roads are sketchy. Standard mode hits that sweet spot for everyday spirited riding. And that parallel twin? It's got character, man. There's a mechanical growl that just sounds right. Not too refined, not too raw. When you're carving through the twisties or blasting down the motorway, that soundtrack keeps you engaged. Speaking of riding, the SV-7GX handles like a dream. The chassis is based on Suzuki's proven lightweight philosophy, 187 kilograms wet weight. That's properly light for what you're getting. Steering's quick, flickable, confidence-inspiring. You can thread this thing through traffic like it's nothing. Hit some B-roads or canyon runs, and it just eggs you on to push harder. The suspension setup, 41 millimeters inverted forks up front, preload adjustable monoshock out back. Soaks up imperfections really well without feeling vague. You know what you're rolling over, but it's not beating you up. Braking is where Suzuki didn't skimp. Dual 310 millimeters discs up front with radial mount calipers. Single 240 millimeters at the rear. Bite is strong, progressive, easy to modulate. ABS comes standard, obviously, with modes you can adjust. You can brake late into corners without drama. And that's confidence right there. Now let's talk features because bikes these days need more than just a good engine and handling. The SV-7GX comes loaded with electronic aids. 5-level traction control that you can switch on the fly. 3 ride modes like I mentioned, plus a bidirectional quickshifter on the higher spec versions. That quickshifter's slick, clutchless upshifts and downshifts that are smooth as silk. Cruise control, not standard, but available as an accessory. Little miss there. Fuel economy, real world, You're looking at around 50 to 55 miles per gallon, depending on how you ride. The tank holds 15 liters, so you've got a realistic 180 to 200-mile range before you're hunting for petrol stations. Not class-leading, but totally acceptable for a naked bike with this performance. Comfort-wise, this isn't a tourer, but it's not a torture rack either. Riding positions upright and neutral, bars are wide. Foot pegs are mid-set, not too aggressive. You can do 150 to 200 miles in a day without feeling wrecked, but push beyond that, and you'll notice it's still a sporty naked, not an adventure bike. Wind protection? Almost none. You're getting buffeted above 70 miles per hour, but that's the naked bike life. Storage? Zero. No underseat compartment, nothing. You're bolting on tail bags or tank bags if you need to carry anything. Suzuki does offer accessory luggage options that integrate nicely, but that's extra cash. Now rivals, who's the SV-7GX up against? The obvious competitor is the Yamaha MT-07, which has dominated this segment for years. The MT's got a cult following, proven reliability, loads of aftermarket support. The SV-7GX counters, with better electronics, nicer dash, slightly sharper handling. Then there's the Kawasaki Z650, which is cheaper but feels less premium. Honda's got nothing directly competing right now. Triumph's Trident 660 is brilliant but smaller displacement, different character. And if you're looking European, the KTM 790 Duke is absolutely mental, but costs more and has that orange brand premium. Honestly, the SV-7GX slots right into that sweet spot where the MT-07 lives, but it brings modern tech that Yamaha's been slow to add. If you're cross-shopping, ride both. The MT feels rawer, more visceral. The SV feels more refined, more modern. Pick your poison. Price point? Suzuki's positioning this around $8,500 to $9,200 depending on trim and market. UK pricing's hitting around £7,800 to £8,500. Australia's looking at $12,500 to $13,800 EDU markets. Germany, France, Italy. Expect €8,900 to €9,600 with regional variations. That's competitive, maybe even slightly undercutting the MT-07 in some markets, which is smart. Ownership costs? Service intervals are every 6,000 miles or 6 months, which is standard. Parts availability? Suzuki's network is solid in all major markets, USA, UK, Europe, Australia. Insurance won't kill you either. It's not a superbike, so premiums are reasonable for a mid-capacity naked. So here's the verdict. Is the SV-7GX hype or bummer? I'm gonna say this thing's a proper ripper, mate. Suzuki nailed what this bike needed to be. It's fun, it's capable, it's modern, and it doesn't cost a fortune. Is it perfect? Nah. Wind protection's non-existent, cruise control should be standard, and that pillion comfort could be better. But as a solo rider's weapon for carving roads, commuting with a smile, or weekend blasts, this thing delivers the goods. If you're in the market for a middleweight naked, and you've been defaulting to the MT-07 like everyone else, do yourself a favor and test ride the SV-7GX. You might be surprised how much you dig it. The electronics alone make it feel like a generation newer than the Yamaha, and that TFT dash is just gorgeous. For my money, if I'm buying in this segment right now, the SV-7GX is at the top of my list. Alright, that's the full rundown on the Suzuki SV-7GX. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, share it with your riding mates who are bike shopping, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're dropping fresh content every week. Drop a comment below and tell me, would you pick the SV-7GX over the competition, or are you loyal to something else? What's your take? Also, if there's a bike you want us to review next, shout it out. Hit that notification bell so you never miss when we drop new videos. Ride safe out there. Keep the shiny side up, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.